boys and girls, girls and boys, attack helicopters, small stuffed yellow teddy bears, and super intelligent shades of the colour green. You're all welcome here, however you identify. And who are we to say that you're not any of those things? If you say you are, then it is so. Today, my very special guest is Deneen, and she's here to tell us a bit about her story, where she came from, what her background is, what's changed recently, how she's living now, because that's an interesting situation as well. And then we'll get a bit onto business at the end of the discussion as well to see what is going to be happening going forward. And we'll give you full Meat Militia instructions at that time, my soldiers. So we shall. Right, Deneen, enough from me. Tell us everything. Get up on your hind legs. I'll be quiet and you tell us everything we need to know.
Okay. I am originally from Michigan in the United States. And I moved around quite a bit. I've lived in Samoa, which is closer to you. And then I have also lived in Portland, Oregon, and now I live in Taos, New Mexico, which is in the very northern part of New Mexico, very close to Colorado. I have been in the medical field for 28 years or something like that. Prior to becoming a medical provider, an actual practitioner, I was an ultrasound tech. And then I was a vascular tech. It's just a specialization in ultrasound, sonography. And then I went to PA school and became a physician assistant. I don't know if they have them in New Zealand.
Yeah, we know what they are.
But they're,
yeah.
Yeah?
Mm.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, and most people, obviously in the United States, are very familiar with them. We practice medicine just like a physician would. We just don't do residency. So our expertise comes in on the job training. And the nice thing about it is you get to move. If you get bored with a specialty, which I did quite a bit, actually, you can move on to other ones and you can kind of do anything you want in the field, here and there and wherever. So I've done a lot. I have done orthopedic surgery. I've done women's health. I've done cardiothoracic surgery for a very short time. Didn't really like that. Then I did reconstructive surgery, like plastics reconstructive, which was really, really cool. Liked that a lot. I did family practice. I've done functional medicine, which is my latest, and urgent care as well, and telemedicine. And I didn't like the way that my profession handled the thing that went around the world and bothered everyone. So I decided to leave that profession, and I still have my hand in it a little tiny bit because I need to make a living. I need to eat, but it's very, very little. Prior to moving to here to New Mexico, I lived in Portland, Oregon, and I didn't really like it very much there. So my son left there. He got on a sailboat and started sailing around the world. So I'm like, well, why am I staying here? So I came to New Mexico, and I actually really love it here. It's called the high desert. I'm not sure that you have that in New Zealand at all. That eco climate. It's really cool. It's like mountainous. I live at like 8,000 feet, and it's dry, but right now it's really wet. We've been having a couple of wet seasons in a row. So I think things are changing for the good, actually. And I needed to kind of pare down things because of living off my savings there for a little while. So I bought a fifth wheel. It's a renovated fifth wheel. So it's like a little tiny apartment on wheels, and it's just the cutest thing ever. And so I live in a fifth wheel and on a farm, actually. I'm pretty much stationed. I could move, but I don't have a truck. So I just stay where I'm at. And I started the YouTube channel. It's called Katori on Wheels, because the name of my fifth wheel is Katori, which it means little bird in Japanese. And I started the YouTube channel just kind of show the hardships and the process, the stuff you have to go through to live in one, which is not that easy, especially in the winter, because you can imagine at 7,000 feet, it's real cold here, or like 8,000. I don't even know, but it's really cold here. It's a ski town, lots of snow, and you got to think about freezing pipes and freezing tanks. And yeah, it's been a challenge for somebody, a woman alone in the wilderness here. So
awesome.
That's kind of the story of where I'm at now.
Awesome. So, those that are interested in that kind of, we'll call it alternative living, whatever. It's just a way of living, and it sounds idyllic to me. I mean, I get that it's not easy, that there are challenges, that there are difficulties, of course.
Yeah.
Fascinating stuff. The absolute sort of thing that people should be interested in watching on the YouTubes. So spell out that YouTube address for us so that we all spell it right.
Yeah, it's Kotori, Katori on Wheels.
All right. All one word, all lowercase?
All lowercase, I believe. Yes.
Okay. Very good. Anyway, you'll find it. Katori on Wheels. And my Meat Militia, your instructions are go and find it. Watch it. Binge watch it. Like every single video, comment underneath every single video, share them to your social media feeds. You know how this thing works. It's cross-pollination. It excites.
It'll give me incentive to do more.
Exactly.
Videos.
Exactly.
It's hard to do videos with one hand, and you're filling your water tank with another.
Exactly that. Yes. And it excites Al Gore, and Al Gore likes to be excited. And when he is excited, he tends to push ever more copies out to ever more people to become enthralled by such entertainments on the YouTubes. And it's all for free, I tell you, for free. None of that costs you anything at all. While we're at it, I'm going to be very, very rude just for the amazement of my audience. I've already been mazed a couple of times, and I don't believe it for a second, but here we go. Young lady, tell us how old you are.
I am 59 years old.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, I turned 59 in January.
Try again. How old are you, young lady? Stop lying to us.
Well, I could lie.
We'd probably believe it. Yeah, incredible. Tell us about that.
Thank you.
How does that happen?
Well, first you pick really good genes.
Yep.
I think I did. But then nutrition becomes your hobby, because you understand that what you put into your body are the building blocks for what your body can do. So I've been an amateur nutrition. I'm not anywhere near your level, but I am an amateur nutrition scientist. Gosh, I mean, since I was 20, probably. So I've always tried to stay on top of the lies that we've been told so that I could avoid them. And I went ketogenic quite a long time ago, probably 10 years ago, probably. I started avoiding carbs. And then that turned into about 6 or 7 years ago, it turned into, kind of playing with carnivore. Mostly because my son's girlfriend at the time had Crohn's disease, and being a medical provider, I wanted to help her as much as I could. And I actually stumbled across Michaela Peterson at the time. That's what happened then. And so I just I deep dove into everything that she was saying, and I thought, wow, if it can work for her autoimmune disorder, it could definitely work for Crohn's too. So I told my son's girlfriend about it. And I said, if you're willing to try it, I'll do it with you, to make it easier on you. I'll be your support. We'll do it together. And wow. I mean, her Crohn's went into remission, like nearly right away, probably within a month. And she was pretty far along. And I was stunned. I was amazed. I knew it was going to help, but not that quickly. And then for me, I lost a bunch of weight. I felt amazing. I had so much energy. My brain, I could focus because I was seeing 30 patients a day back then. And it was great. It was so easy. You don't even have to think about food, really. You just, you're going to eat either steak or you're going to have burger. And then I would allow myself, I'm okay with cheese. So I would have cheese for lunch and some salami or whatever. And I just never had to think about it. It just saved so much time, so much money. It was great. So I've been kind of on that off and on since then. I fall off a little bit and fall back on. I would say I'm a ketovore. I'm more animal based than anything else.
Right. Excellent.
Yeah.
But you're not.
Meat is the biggest part of my plate.
Right.
Yeah.
Awesome. So you're not pouring hundreds and hundreds of grams of carbohydrate down your neck every day or anything like that?
Oh, God, no. And, those times when those like social things where you end up having to have a bite of someone's birthday cake or whatever. Oh, my goodness. I always feel so bad the next day. I really feel awful.
Yeah.
So it's easy to get back on.
Exactly. A lot of people think, they say if there's anything wrong with the carnivore diet, it's that you can't get away with transgressions anymore. You will feel terrible. Your digestive system will fall to bits for 48 hours. Your body will become inflamed. You'll get headaches. You'll be bloated. You'll lose your energy. You'll feel like death warmed up, basically.
It's true. But then if you think about it, you're always feeling that shitty all the time if you're always eating that stuff.
Exactly. So it's a blessing. It's not a limitation. It's not a problem. It's an ever more powerful reminder to do the right thing by your body and not to do the wrong thing by your body.
That's right.
I think. Which
I guess, it keeps the gray hairs at bay. Well,
right.
Sorry. I know you don't have as much hair, but
yep. I do have some grey hair, some salt and pepper that comes through, but then, I'm in my 50s, so you'd probably expect that. And I, believe it or not, have not lived a blameless life prior to. No, I know. It's incredible. It's hard to believe, but there are one or two things I've done in my life when I was young and foolish and invincible, which, of course, there'll still be some payment due for, I guess, some cross to bear, all of that kind of stuff. Anyway, that's for another day. One of the things, of course, that a person can do, and I guess this is the obvious segue, in terms of assisting one's body to renew and repair itself, using its own natural renewal and repair system, of course, is something that you have come across quite recently, I'm told, by a little bird. Well, a small yellow teddy bear told me. He said, Deneen has found this brilliant business idea that she's been working on. It's a supplement, a nutraceutical. And I said, Ted, that sounds incredible. It sounds fascinating. So I thought I'd better ask you about it. Tell us everything all about that.
Yes. Well, I've been a big fan of Professor Bart K for quite a while.
Oh, that shows terrible judgment on your part. Goodness.
I know, terrible. And I listen. I listen to what he and Ted have to say, and I take it in. I do my research, and so I also have a motto. So I do still want to help people heal and stay healthy, get healthy, stay healthy. But I don't want to do it in any way, shape, or form that actually harms them, which in my previous profession, I was doing that almost every day, right? I was doing the help and the harm at the same time. So I vowed to myself that I'm not, the harming part's done. I'm not ever going to do that again. And then when I heard about the real products, I thought, well, I've got some issues, so I'll start taking it myself. And I started taking the Stem Cell Enhance, or the Stem Enhance Ultra in October. And I have two kind of big issues for me, being who I am. The two issues are, one is I used to be a runner. I used to run a lot in my 20s and 30s. It was my thing. And I have achy knees. Now I'm 59 and it was achy knee. Well, 58 then and achy knees. And I also had RK surgery. I don't know if you know what that is. It's radial keratotomy. Okay. It's what they used to do before LASIK surgery.
Okay.
With an actual scalpel, Ooh.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah. Before the lasers, they did it with a scalpel. And honestly, when I had it done, they had already been doing it for 25 years. And so it was kind of tried and true at the time. And I did it because my mom had it done and didn't need contacts anymore. And I was a runner, right? So I didn't want to wear glasses. So I had it done back in my 20s. And they had to go back in and do this one twice because it didn't quite take. And that caused an issue that I didn't realize until many years later that I had this chronic corneal ulcer. Mm. So it's like a divot in my eye that's always there and never heals on its own. And it sort of feels like you have sand in your eye all the time.
Right. Yeah.
It was pretty painful, but I would deal with it well enough until about 2 years ago, I actually got an infection in the ulcer, which I almost lost the vision in my eye. It was really scary. So, I'm always looking for anything that could possibly help this. And so those are the two things, the knees and the eye. I decided to try the Stem Enhance Ultra. And in February, I started really noticing that I didn't have that sandy feeling in my eye anymore. I had more of a dry eye syndrome thing, which I have in both eyes anyway, but it was just the dry eye syndrome, not this gritty, sandy feeling. And I'm like, this is working. This is cool. And then my knees, I can squat now and not make that weird noise that old people make when they squat. Get back up. Yeah. Yeah. Involuntarily. So I noticed that. And then, so I was like, okay, I'm pretty happy with this. I need to try it first before I, decide that I'm going to tell the world about it. And so I got in touch with you and you're like, right on, let's do it. So here I am.
Telling the world.
Yes.
Awesome. Right. And what is your link to the Sorul business for folks that want to go and try this stuff for themselves?
It's just super simple. It's my name, .sorul.com. Right. Deneen, DENEEN.
.sorul.com. Right. So those are your secondary orders, my Meat Militia. First of all, go and subscribe to Deneen's YouTube channel and do the liking and the subscribing and the commenting and the sharing on your social media. And then pop yourselves directly across to Deneen's Sorul shopfront, I guess you'd call it, website. And if you'd like to purchase product for your own renewal and repair benefit, you should do that. You should do that as a preferred customer rather than as a retail customer because you'll get the product cheaper that way. And what you do is you put your product on a system called auto ship, which is you give them your credit card details. You tell them what day of the month you want it processed. And every month on that day, they'll process that repeating order automatically without you having to remember or order it or whatever. And they'll send it to your doorstep on UPS pretty much. And it'll arrive and you'll go, oh, my Sorul's here. I forgot about that. Good thing that it's automatically happening so I don't have to remember. And then you go nom, 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 and you eat them up for the month and then they run out and the next one arrives. It's great. So you do that and you'll get them cheaper that way. So do that, obviously. If, however, you understand the benefit of getting those brilliant, fantastic products for cheaper, then you probably also appreciate the value of, well, why the hell don't you get them for free? Why not free? Isn't free good? Free, I tell you. If you'd like your products for free, then what you do is, instead of signing yourself up as a preferred retail customer, you sign up as an IBO in your own regard, in your own right, basically, which I think you pay about $25 for, or the equivalent in whatever country you are. And then what happens is you talk to a few people about the Sorul product, the Sorul opportunity, exactly as Deneen is doing today. You can even come on my channel and do it if you want. I'll help you in that way. And you'll probably find a number of people who'll go, well, that's a great product. I want it. And so they'll buy it. And they'll go, but I don't want to be involved in that marketing thing for some reason. And we'll go, that's fine. No problem. We'll allow you to pay retail for your product because we accept however people identify here. And when you get 3 people who are retail customers who also get auto ship products, the same number that you're getting, the same size, what they call a wellness pack, basically, then yours is free from the next month onwards, as long as you have 3 customers or more than 3. Free. I tell
Brilliant.
You, absolutely outstanding. Incredible. What other company will offer you that opportunity? I can't think of one, to be fair. It's a really, really good idea, obviously.
And it helps and does not harm.
Exactly. Yes. This is a product that's been extensively reviewed, extensively researched. It's been around in various forms leading up to its current form for about 30 years, actually. And in that time, there have been no reports of serious problems, with the exception of one case that occurred on one occasion that I'm aware of about, I think it was 15 or 20 years ago, when the product was being marketed by a completely different company at the time, actually. And somehow some shellfish protein got into it in some way.
Oh, they were allergic.
And there was an allergic reaction that occurred.
Yeah.
The current company, the Sorul company that's owned this product and marketed this product now for about 6 years, owns a worldwide patent on a filtration system that means that what gets into that product is what should, and what doesn't get into it is anything else at all. So there's that one taken care of. Yeah, perfect indeed. All right. So I don't know, being from a medical background, a medical provider background, what did you understand about adult stem cells before you came across Sorul, and has that understanding changed since? Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah. Well, I was familiar with PRP injections, which is, when you take your own blood and spin down so that you just pull out the plasma part, which has all the stem cells in it, as well as platelets.
Yeah.
The platelets have the stem cells. And you can do various things with it. One of them being, quote, the vampire facial, right? Like you inject it all over your face and like bloody, bloody ugly.
Yeah.
Or into a joint that is arthritic or painful in some way. And this is a very powerful tool for, rejuvenating, repairing your own tissue, damaged tissue, like you have wrinkles on your face, or you have arthritis in your joints, or tendonitis, all kinds of things, rotator cuff injuries. Very powerful for that. So I was familiar with it that way. But I wasn't aware that there was a product, like a natural product that you could take that would increase your circulating adult stem cells. I also really wasn't aware that your own circulating adult stem cells, the rate of them circulating would fall so quickly as you got older.
Yeah.
I wasn't aware of that. I knew that we always had adult stem cells, but I didn't know that the circulating ones were so meager as you got older.
Yeah.
So I was super pleased to find that this product had that
L-selectin.
like, thank you, L-selectin ligand that just, clips that little guy away. So now you just have all these tons of daughter cells floating around to go do the work that they used to do for you when you were in your 20s and 30s. And, now you're older, you can get that again. I think that I'm amazed.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Well,
such a simple product too. Exactly. I mean, coming from algae.
Yeah.
So simple.
Incredible. I mean, I myself, I've known of the existence of this product and how it's manufactured from naturally occurring. It's actually a cyanobacteria, which we call algae, that lives in this one lake in Oregon, and how they've been basically harvesting these guys and extracting this product and activating it.
And it's the only place in the world, yeah?
Yeah, there are very similar species that live elsewhere. This particular brand of the guy we're talking about, which is called AFA, affirmational floss aquae, it's called. This particular one that lives in this particular lake in Oregon, it's a volcanic lake. It's Upper Klamath, for those that want to know. And the particular mixture of nutrient and stuff that's in that lake because of the volcanic feeding of it is such that has encouraged this particular brand of AFA to evolve in a certain way. And it's that which, in my understanding, causes it to produce the active ingredient that is involved in the cereal product for the L-selectin ligation. There are a number of other companies running around who are extracting the same bacteria out of the same lake, drying it into a powder, putting it in bottles and saying, here we go, it's the same stuff, half the price. No. Couple of problems with that. Number one, the cereal product, the active ingredient is active precisely because of an activation process that it goes through in the cereal factory that activates it and makes it do that thing. In its natural form, in the bacteria that's just dried out of the lake, that's not going to work. Well, it does to some degree, but not remotely as well. So it's junk, basically. Secondly, if you know anything about blue-green cyanobacter, you know these guys are poisonous. They're toxic.
Yeah.
Of course they are.
Normally.
Yeah. So you have to put it through a filtration process that's good enough to get the heavy metals, toxins, cyanide, and other junk out of the thing so you don't poison yourself with the stuff. And what these companies are doing is just pulling this thing out of the lake and drying it into a powder, putting it in bottles and saying, there you go, eat that. No. Don't be doing that, folks.
That's scary.
That is, and the fact that they're allowed to do that is incredible to me. I guess the reason they are allowed to is because the level of toxins in their product is below an FDA standard that allows them to sell it. And we all know that the FDA is absolutely concerned with your safety. Of course.
Oh, yeah.
Of course.
Oh, yeah, totally.
So anyway, that's how that one.
Well, it's just a matter of time when somebody takes more than they should and it builds up.
Yep. And they will have to take a lot because it won't work. Because it's not an activated product. So, oh, God, I feel terrible. Right. I wonder why. AFA's bad stuff. You dick. Anyway.
Yeah, they're going to give AFA a bad name. God.
So anyway, that's why I am at pains to explain the difference between the cereal product, which is the only company with this patented activation and filtration process that makes this product safe and effective. Your favorite words, safe and effective,
I love it.
And safe. So there's that in terms of the oral supplementation. That's what it does. It does exactly what it says it does. And that is it causes your bone marrow to release your adult stem cells into your bloodstream, whereupon they do magics. And anyone that's interested in the peer-reviewed literature that supports those series of claims I've just made can go to Deneen's site, which we gave you before, deneen.cereal.com. And halfway down the page, there's a link to the research that you can read we're the peer
And
review
it's
literature.
fascinating.
It is. It really is fascinating. And you should check it out if you're at all interested in doing that kind of thing.
If you're a nerd like me,
There you go.
you'll want to read it.
The other thing that you reminded me really to talk about today, and it's a trick I've been missing actually on this company, on this product range. I think, and the reason I think I've been missing this trick largely is because the vast majority of my audience on my YouTube channel is men aged 30 to 49.
Yeah.
Some of them are older.
And then there's me.
Right. There are one or two women that float around the channel. The cougar types that are trying to look for young men that hang around my channel, perhaps. I don't know.
The unicorns.
I'm kidding a bit. I'm kidding. But yeah, mostly it's youngish men. The vast majority, the bulk. Okay, so I don't really talk about this a lot on my channel, but I think this is something you should probably talk about, Deneen, because you've already kind of alluded to it. You're talking about the vampire injections. Well, the Sorul product carries a skincare range as well. And in our AFA night cream, the active ingredient that works on your bone marrow to release the stem cells, that same active ingredient is actually in that AFA night cream. So you put it on your face at nighttime, go to sleepy bobos. Yes, and neck and décolletage. Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
And your beautiful bald head and neck as well, of course. Down as far as you can reach. Hands, back of your hands, all of that, yes. Or anywhere else that you would like the skin to look appealing, pretty much. And what happens is that AFA in that night cream seeps into your skin and brings forward the stem cells in your dermis under your skin and brings them forward. And is so that's a fantastic product. I'd get into that.
Wow.
And yeah, look, even young men, you know, a lot of people, I mean,
well, they want to stay looking young.
Well, this is it.
Right?
I mean, like, as I said to you earlier on, like, you know, this is the third time you've told me you're 59 years of age, and I'm still telling you to stop lying to me. A lot of people don't believe my age either. I mean, a lot of people don't believe.
Well, you look fantastic too.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm in my early 50s. So a lot of people go, no, you're not. I'm well, sorry, but I am.
You look like you're in your 30s.
Exactly. I mean, when I was telling the story about my eyesight that hasn't failed me like I was told it was going to. And that
Thank God.
And exactly. And that might, well, thanks Sorul, probably. I'm not allowed to claim that, of course. That's cause and effect claim.
No.
FDA won't allow that because they're all about my safety, aren't the FDA, remember? Yeah, so I mean, I'm supposed to be blind. I had advanced macular degeneration diagnosed with photographic evidence that was what was going on in my eyes at 39 years of age. And the last photo that was taken of the back of my eye by an optometrist about 13 or 14 months ago, this was a new optometrist that did not have my records. I did not say anything. I sat down. I let this woman look into my eyes lovingly with her machinery and go, here is your prescription and stuff. And she didn't make any comment.
She had no idea.
No. And I said, so anything about the health of my eyes that would concern you at all? She said, no, your eyes look pretty good for a man in his mid-30s, she said to me. And I said, well, thank you very much. I'm 50, which is what I was at the time. I'm now 51. And she said, no, you're not. And I said, yes, I am. She said, but you look like you're in your 30s. And I said, well, there's a reason for that, probably. And there's also a reason why you didn't notice any problem with my eyesight that you should have. And she said, what are you talking about? That's one of the ways that you can start a conversation.
Good for you. That's a great.
So I said, well, I came across this product about 13 years ago, blah, 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 blah. So there you go. It was an opportunity. Yeah. So, and she showed me the photos that she'd just taken of the back of my eyes. A completely regressed disease situation.
So awesome.
Incredible.
I'm so happy for you.
I mean, imagine being told at 39 years of age, you will be blind before you're 45.
Oh, Bart, I mean, God, I just can't even imagine. And you're being told that you have a disease that usually 75, 80-year-olds get.
Exactly.
Like,
yeah. And there's nothing we can do. Perhaps we can inject some stem cells into your eyeballs if you like. And I said, no, thanks.
Right. Ooh.
Can you imagine someone sticking a needle into your eye?
Well,
I mean, you don't need to. You're braver than me. You're a braver soldier than me.
No, I wouldn't want a needle in for sure. Because the infection risk is got to be sky high. No.
Yeah, exactly. All right. So there it is in a nutshell. There is Deneen's story, where she came from. We'll call them a series of unfortunate events. I'm going to call it overt evil that led her to have to depart that scene. I understand overt evil leading someone to leave their occupation. It happened to me too, in a different way, at a different time. I left academia because of
similar story.
Yeah, well, I guess in some ways, yeah. The problem with society, Deneen, is that there's people in it, frankly.
Right. Can we get rid of them?
I know, people are awful.
No, we love people.
We do, of course we do. I'm being flippant and sarcastic for humour.
We are.
Someone has to keep the vibe of the show rolling because Ted's face down on the desk again. It's incredible. He's all tuckered out from me. I actually made him tidy up some of the cables.
And Al Gore, is he around somewhere?
He is somewhere, but I think he's pretty irrelevant these days, to be fair. Anyway, that's
thank goodness for that.
Yeah, right. So Deneen had to leave her occupation. She decided to completely change her lifestyle, I think for the better, frankly, going and living somewhere rural, somewhere, a bit remote. I can also relate to that. So Pim and I live on a farm with 2 dogs.
You do, huh?
It's great. We stay
near Nelson, right?
Yep, pretty near. Yep, we're about 35
I love that area. It's so beautiful there.
Awesome. We love it. And, having to find ways of producing $1. And listen, people, the cereal business is a fantastic way to produce $1. Or more than $1. Several dollars, actually.
Hopefully several dollars.
Well, I'm in a I guess, situation now, having been talking publicly about cereal for about 4 years, where it really is a relatively significant amount of dollars. And, rightly so, I've earned that. I'm not going to beat around the bush on that. People say, oh, don't you think it's a bit gauche to be talking about money? Well, hey, money makes the world go round, people.
And you earned it.
That's it. I earned it. And I think that, but the great thing is, so can anybody else. It's not about me taking advantage of a bunch of people, taking advantage of them, and I make all the money and they get nothing.
Right.
The whole idea of this business is that you too can set yourself up as a business owner, exactly as I have done, and build a business for yourself that earns you any amount of dollars that you should see fit, actually.
Right. And you're not doing it in some, like salesy, yucky way.
Yeah.
This is a product that pretty much sells itself because it truly gets to the root of things and helps and doesn't harm. And
the beauty of all of that is, number one, it's very, very ethical. I'm helping people, definitely, no doubt. They're getting a benefit. They have an opportunity to get their product without paying for it in exactly the same way that anybody else does. And if you want to know about that, just send us an email. We'll tell you how to do it. It's easy. Okay. In short, the parsimonious version is get 3 customers buying the same products you are, and yours are now free. Brilliant. Okay. So people say, oh, it's expensive. Well, get it for free. Go and talk to enough people to get 3 customers. Yours is now free. Easy. They don't give you.
Actually not that expensive when you look at other quote supplements out there. And you can get off other supplements.
Yep.
Like if you're on, let's say you're on something that you're like, I need brain support, right? I get brain fog. I need brain support. So you're on this brain support thing, and then you're on the liver support thing, and you can remove all that stuff.
Oh, absolutely. Yep.
Yeah.
And what with it being good for people and ethical, and they get on the product and they understand how good it is and they see the results for themselves and go, this is incredible. They keep buying it, basically. Now, I have customers in my business and distributors in my business who have been there for 4 years. I mentioned this product once 4 years ago. I said, you should try this once 4 years ago. They did. And this month they bought their, 12 times fourth month's worth of product. Their 48th round, if you like. And I got paid again. And next month they'll buy their 50th.
Right.
49th, 50th.
That's amazing.
Because get paid again.
Because it works. It works.
Yes.
So why wouldn't you buy it?
Yeah. And in 4 years from now, it'll be 8 years since they started using the product. And that'll mean they'll buy their 100th round of it. And I'll get paid again.
Right.
You get it? People?
I totally get it.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. So that's what people should do. Honestly.
Yep.
Or you can go back to your job next week and you can work 40 hours for someone else or yourself. Or if it's for yourself, probably more than 40 hours. And you can do that again the next week and the next week and the next week until you drop dead. Yep. And if you stop doing that at any point, they will stop paying you.
Well, absolutely. They do stop paying you.
Yeah. If I stop promoting Sorul products today and never mention it again, sure, my business won't grow, but the people that are already on it will probably keep taking it, pretty much most of them. So my income will keep coming in and I can go and sit on a beach. What am I doing here?
Yeah, some beautiful beaches there too.
We do. No, the main beach in Nelson is one of the most beautiful beaches in the world. It was voted so this year. What am I doing here?
Totally is. Yeah. What are you doing there?
Other than it's the middle of fall and it's getting cold and we've got the fire going and stuff.
That's right.
I could still go to the beach. I could still go to the beach. I'm going to go to the beach. I think we're done here, Deneen.
Okay.
All right. Hey, brilliant. Good. So, folks, you know the drill. Go across, subscribe to Deneen's channel, YouTube channel. It's on the screen. Subscribe to all of that. Comment, like, subscribe.
And if you're interested in seeing how a woman lives in a fifth wheel on a farm all by herself,
do that. Absolutely.
Girl.
And get yourselves across to Deneen's Sorul website. That's also up on the screen right now. And get yourself a wellness pack on auto ship if you want to pay for it. Cool. Do that. We'll allow you to pay for it if that's what you want to do. If you want it for free, though, sign up as an IBO, not as a customer, and find yourself 3 customers. Then yours is free.
And they can DM me if they have any questions. And I'll
of course
answer.
they can. Yes. Brilliant. And if you don't know the answer, then you can ask this mad professor who probably does. And if he doesn't know, he knows a woman that introduced him to the idea that does. That's how it works, basically. All right.
I know a guy.
Very good. Thank you for that. It's been great.
Thanks, Bart.
Yeah, and next time, stop lying to us about your age, young lady.
I'll tell you the real age next time.
All right. Fair enough. Great. And the rest of you, you know the drill. Don't let the door hit you in the backside on the way out. Clean up the room after you. Don't leave it for your mum. All right. And probably next time someone will be wrong on interwebs because that doesn't look like slowing down anytime soon, does it? All right. See you then. Ciao.